All right, guys, thank you for joining me again. Appreciate it as always. All right, let's get to this. Oh, shit, dude. All right, let's get it started. Eli, thank you for the 5 by KFCs. Which, by the way, I'm looking for like a good chicken spot. This is Kentucky, right? But I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh, you need to visit this spot." Jim, Rhonda, Patrice, thank you for the 5 by 5. Annette, what's going on? All right, so let's get it started. So, of course, guys, I touched on the whole. Thank you for the donation, Richard Brown. Appreciate it. I touched on the whole migrants being allowed to vote in D.C., or rather, non citizens to vote in D.C. Now, why is that a problem? Well, for the obvious reasons that they're going to flood that fucking shit. They're going to flood that area, guys, with more migrants to get the votes up for Biden. Now, Biden doesn't have a shot in hell winning this election. I mean, he really doesn't. Interestingly enough, there are people who will vote for Biden regardless. I don't understand why. But nonetheless, they will. And a lot of people know he can't win this election, not against Trump. But how do you win an election against Trump? Well, you flood the area with migrants. You have these people come in, say they lived here for, I don't know, 2 weeks or a month or 2 months, whatever it is, and then they can vote, right? So, federal judge tosses lawsuit challenging D.C.'s non resident voting law. A federal judge in D.C. dismissed a lawsuit challenging a district law that allows non citizens to vote in local elections, ruling the plaintiffs did not prove the law violates their rights. It's actually against the law, it's in the Constitution. In an opinion issued Thursday, that was yesterday, Judge Amy Berman Jackson, who's also appointed by Obama, ruled against a group of 7 plaintiffs, all whom are U.S. citizens registered to vote in D.C., who argued the city's Local Resident Voting Rights Amendment Act of 2022 violates their Fifth Amendment rights. The law passed in D.C. Council back in 2022 removed citizenship requirements for voting in municipal elections, allowing non citizens residents to vote in local elections. Now, they cleared this back in 2022 because they knew in 2024 we were going to have this problem with the migrants. And in fact, we're going to have so many migrants here that you can get a decent turnout. But again, there's some migrants that are not buying this bullshit. They're not drinking the Kool-Aid. So who the fuck knows, right? So the law also allows non-citizen residents to run for D.C. government roles and serve in the city's board of elections per court filing. Now they did this. They did this in China, in California as well, with that Chinese citizen who's a non-citizen, she's not illegal. She's here legally, but she's a non-citizen, and she's in charge of the board of elections in some city in California. So do you see what's going on, guys? They are allowing more of these illegals to sit here and vote. That's what they're doing. They're allowing these people to sway the election in their direction. If that makes sense. The suit filed against D.C.'s Board of Election alleged the new laws dilutes the vote of every U.S. citizen voter in the district. The plaintiffs argue that the enfranchisement of non-citizens infringed on their fundamental rights to vote and discriminates against U.S. citizens, native-born citizens living in D.C., while violating the constitutional rights to citizens' self-government. Again, guys, why do you think they're doing all this? Why do you think Illinois passed that that ruling about letting migrants carry firearms. Why do you think they want them to vote? Why do you think California is hiring migrants to become police officers and also trying to clear the path for them to carry firearms? Keep in mind, guys, they're still illegal citizens, no matter how you slice it. No matter what uniform you put on them, no matter what uh, military branch they serve, they're still illegal. Now, military branch can absolutely be a pathway to becoming a U.S. citizen. That I can. That's a negotiation. But sorry, but and definitely, cat lady, you should definitely have to speak English. That should be first and foremost. I'm tired of running into migrants, and when you ask them a question, you sit there and have to guess what they're saying. Like I'm okay with Spanish, but if the dialect is different, if the dialect's off, I can't tell what the fuck they're saying. Right? I can't even fucking come close. So again, guys, uh, migrants are taking everything. In fact, a lot of guys, and I told you this before earlier, or maybe a couple weeks ago, that your taxes, the extra money you normally get, or the money you normally get, I think some of you noticed you got back less this year. Whether it was $1,000 less or $200 less, you got less back this year because that money is going towards actually the Ukraine and Israeli war, and also because the migrants are running the bill high on everything in every state. Medical bills right now are in the billions because we're treating migrants, setting them loose, and who's going to pay that bill? Well, we are undoubtedly going to pay that bill come tax season and or in another form of a tax. In fact, California has an interesting tax right now. They have an exit tax. If you're rich and you leave Texas, California, they charge you with a tax. I think it's like 3 or 4% of your net worth or some shit like that, or 10% of your net worth before you leave. I just wouldn't pay it. Like I don't understand how like you're about to move out of California, and they're like, "Well, we got an exit tax for you to pay." I'd be like, I'm not paying it. Simple. There shouldn't be. There's no wiggle room, guys. For like, you're gonna hit me with a tax that I have to pay an absorbent amount of money to leave. Fuck you. I'm not paying it. What are you gonna do? Come after me? You're gonna come to Arizona and get me? No, they ain't doing any of that shit. Just don't pay the tax. Leave. They're running businesses out of California. They came up with an exit tax because so many people, so many rich people are leaving California. They came up with this tax to keep you there. That's called being a hostage, man. That's not a gun, it's a tax in shape of a gun, telling you have to stay there. Anyway, with all of this going on, guys, there's definitely a lot of shit that's just, at first glance, doesn't make sense. But the longer you stare at it, you start noticing why they're doing this and what's the catch and what's this all about. And this is about destroying the country. And people, you got Native Americans making memes now. Oh, you're losing your land too. You know, like people's houses are being stolen. Native Americans are making these memes, and I'm like, let it go, dude. This is like recent, and not for nothing, but squatters' rights, like a lot of you said, is bullshit. But telling people that you have to keep the power on, in some cases, food in the fridge, and if you change the locks, you got to give them new keys. But what if the house burns to the ground? Are you responsible for relocating them too? Yeah, right. Whatever, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, that shit goes down. We're gonna see more of this. Migrants invading homes, without a doubt, especially in cities like New York. You're gonna see fucking a lot of homes get invaded now. There are migrants, guys. They all have phones. They have special apps where they talk to one another. In fact, they talk to one another and they were like, "Oh, this house on 35 Lumbrim Street, and that house has been empty for 2 months. It's been on sale for 2 months. You guys can move in there." All right, next house over here. You're going to stand in the middle of the street and take these houses. Now, maybe they're going to do it at night so they're undercover. Nonetheless, guys, it's definitely going to we're definitely going to see more of this, and then we're going to see the violence. Then we're going to see the bad shit happen because they're going to take over the wrong home, and some of these people are not going to make it out. Like some shit in a movie like Saw. They're gonna be in a basement somewhere, you know. But yeah, it's not looking good. And yes, guys, if you do not mind, can you hit the thumbs up? Gene W, thank you for joining us. I hadn't seen you in a while either. Matter of fact, Gene, can you email me at angryprepper@yahoo.com? I changed it again. Email me when you can. Thank you. But yeah, man, this shit ain't looking good. And as far as the elections, I just have this bad feeling, man, that if he wins, something bad's going to happen. And it's not going to be because of him, like everybody keeps saying. Oh, if like I know an idiot that's told me if you vote for Trump this time around, you're going to end up in a concentration camp. And I looked at this person and I'm like, are you fucking out of your mind? Where the hell did you get that from? Where did you get that from? And they're like, it's true. How is it true? How is something you're speaking in hypothetical, not even hypothetical, you're speaking in fantasy tones, but you're saying that's true right behind it. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard somebody say. My brain had a problem computing what they said. I said, wait a minute, this fucking person really say that if they elect Trump, he's gonna put us black folks in concentration camps? That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Stupid. And this person believes it. It wasn't like this person didn't believe it. They believed it. I'm like, my God, a concentration camp? I mean, listen, a concentration camp at this point would be fucking way better than dealing with the migrants and the bullshit that we have to fucking deal with. I'd rather be hanging out with fucking us preppers in a concentration camp, singing Kumbaya and making fucking bread, you know? But still, that was the dumbest thing I ever heard. I've never heard of anything so fucking retarded in my life. I was just like, that statement was like full retard. I never heard anything like that. I'm like, really, dude? I'm gonna end up in a concentration camp because of what? Oh, because you're black and Trump doesn't like black people. But Trump has black people in charge of his shit. Like, where the hell are you coming up with this information? Oh, because you heard it on The View? You heard Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar say it? The two fucking knuckleheads? Well, nothing happened 4 years ago, but people are more violent or more angry. JC, people are way more angrier. Like I said, there was a mini riot outside of Trump's inauguration 8 years ago. When he got inaugurated, there was a little mini riot, and they didn't talk about that. The media did not cover it. But there are videos all over YouTube and Instagram and maybe TikTok of cars being burned, windows being broken, the cops throwing haymakers at the protesters. We're going to see the same shit if he gets elected again. And I promise you, I will be down there reporting the shit. Probably throwing haymakers myself, because I'll have a Trump 2024 t-shirt on and we're going to mix it up. And that's the other thing, too. Why not go down there and beat up on some liberals? It's fun, man. It's fun. It's a nice day. We can all go. We can all meet in D.C. And when the liberals get out of hand, we just start fucking going back at them. It's a nice day. We'll make it a picnic. You know, we'll pack sandwiches and shit and beat up on some liberals. It's a good time, man. Trust me. But yeah, like they're definitely going to overreact, without a doubt. They're definitely going to overreact if he gets elected again. And the only way he doesn't get elected again, guys, is if he gets assassinated. I am stuck on that for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just stuck on it. Because I think they're getting so desperate. They are charging him absurd amount of money in these lawsuits and these cases. They're trying to break his campaign. His campaign is not breaking. He just sold a media company. I didn't know Trump had a media company, but Trump had a media company. He just merged today or yesterday, and it was like $1 billion deal. So now he's covered for that $456 million bond he needs to pay to repeal his case in New York. So he's being hit with all of these financial hits. They're hitting him left and right financially. You know? So, yeah, man. Being that he's recovering nicely with every curveball they throw at him, there's only one left, man. There's only one curveball left. In fact, speaking of curveballs, or rather assassinations, the Boeing guy, the whistleblower for Boeing, they're people, they're liberals who don't believe in clandestine shit like this, that even they see that this guy was assassinated. The same guy, the Boeing whistleblower, said that if anything happens to me, it was Boeing that did it, and then he ended up dead, shooting himself in his own car in the parking lot. But there's no videos of him pulling up, from what I'm being told. There's no videos of him pulling up in the car, just that he's in the car dead. There's no pictures of him driving to the place. It's like there's a lot of questions being raised now. So if the right questions are asked, that shit's gonna fall apart. It was 3.5 billion to Trump. All right, and now he can cover his what you call it. MP. I'm not saying that he's not going to be okay. I'm just saying that if they get desperate, that's the avenue to go down. The other side of that coin is if they don't assassinate him, he's possibly going to sell us out. The only reason why I say that is that for all of these financial woes that the Democrats are giving him, he's getting money from other people. Elon Musk was talking about giving him money. He is being put in the back pocket. He's putting himself in a lot of people's back pockets. That is not a good place to be when you're running for president, in other people's back pockets. You do not want to be there. The one thing I learned from that stupid show House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, wasn't a stupid show, it was a very good show, is you never want to be in the back pocket of the wrong fucking person. And Kevin's character said that a couple times throughout the span of the show. And in one episode, when he was running for president, he had mentioned something about being in the back pocket of the wrong people comes back to haunt you tenfold. Trump is undoubtedly going to have to sell out if he is in the wrong back pocket. I don't know whose back pocket he's in exactly, but definitely he's going to see it. Anyway, I'm going to go off the air now. I am tired. I had a decent night's sleep after that drive, but I definitely want to get some more rest. I just wanted to do this real quick. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for following. I might do a quick live stream at the Kentucky Sustainable Living Fair. I'll definitely do one there tomorrow, just so that you guys see what it looks like, what's going on. And hopefully you guys can come out this year, if not next year. All right. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.